In this video, I'm going to show you how to utilize Word's heading styles to format multiple levels of headings and the text underneath those headings. So let's get started. As you can see, I have a heading style for this rule heading called heading 1, and Word has several levels of built-in heading styles by default. So all we need to do is modify those styles to make them appear how we would like to for this particular document. So if I put my cursor in heading 1 and click on the toolbar under the Styles section, this little drop-down arrow, I can see that heading style 1 is applied to this text. If I wanted to remove that, I could come over here and choose another style called Normal. You can see by clicking on that, I've removed the heading style and it's returned to Times New Roman 12-point font. If I want to modify that style, make it appear differently, all I have to do is right-click, modify, and I'm taken to this box where my modification options are. We'll walk through each of these as we use them. So for this section, let me show you that I've changed the font to size 14 from size 12. And note, if I change it to 12, you see a preview here that the font goes back a little bit smaller. Bringing it back to 14 makes it a little bit bigger. I've applied a bold format to this font, and I have it in all caps. So let me show you how to do that. Go to Format, Font. I have it in bold, 14, and all caps is checked here. Obviously you have some other options, but for this purpose we just needed all caps. Click OK. Now you can see the preview of what your style looks like, and if you read through here you can see how Word is formatting your text. We want to make sure this is added to the styles gallery. I really only want it in this document. If I wanted it in all documents, I would click this radio button. For styles, don't put a checkbox in here, otherwise it could create havoc in your document later. Click OK. So now we have our heading style 1. Again, if I wanted another area of this document to have that same format, all I would have to do is click on that text, click heading style, and just like that, that text has that style applied and it's ready to go. Now I have a couple options to remove that if I've made a mistake. The first is just clicking Control-Z or undo, and that takes it back to its previous state. Or if I've applied the heading style and I want to take it back to default, I can use this clear formatting button and that takes it back. Alternatively, I can come up here to the styles pane and just click the format that I want to apply, in this case the normal format, and click on that. Now this next heading level is a little bit more complicated because we want a certain number format to apply, and as you can see through this document, I have small a, the numeral 1, large or capital A, and then a little Roman numeral below that. And I have 5 heading styles set out. Let me show you how I did that on heading 2. So if I click up here in styles again and go to heading 2, right click, modify. In this case, I have Times New Roman 12-point underline font, and you can see my preview is set up the way I want it to. But to add the numbering, you go to Format, Numbering, and we're going to define a new number format. You can change the number style to be whatever predefined format that you want. You can add any characters around, such as parenthetical or periods or dashes. You can change the alignment, and here you can see a quick preview of what that looks like. You can change the font options as well if you wanted to change the size of the font, make it a little bit smaller, a little bit larger. All those options are available here, and then you click OK and click OK. Now notice that when I clicked OK, Word resized my previously set heading style. So the reason I'm showing you that is when you apply numbering to a heading style, it often will goof up how you had your paragraphs indented. So if you're going to add numbers, make sure you start with Format, Numbering, and then go in and change your paragraph options. So to do that, we're going to look at the indentation. I have it as left, so this is indented from the left by 0.5. You can see that on the ruler here on the left hand side. That's 0.5 in, and I want a hanging indent And the hanging indent is not quite far enough over. What's happened is Word has reformatted it to 0.25. I want to bump that up to 0.5, and I can do that with these up and down arrow keys, or I can just type in 0.5 there. On spacing, you can set these to your preference. 0 spacing before the heading, and I like 12 point after, so when I press enter it puts in a space there, and the line spacing of the actual heading style is going to be 0. Or I'm sorry, single. So now you can see it's moved over again like I want it to. If I click OK, it returns to where we are, where I was before. So now let me show you how to format, or what I've done to format this text area underneath this heading style. Anytime that I have text that I want to show up underneath heading 2, I want it to be underneath and then right aligned. So I've created a new heading style called LRA. Let's go up and find that here in our styles. You can see because my cursor is in that area, Word has selected that style for me. Right click and modify. And this just shows that I've got it indented left, from left 1.25. The line spacing is single space. There's a 12 point space after. As you can see here, I've pressed enter, it put in a line space between the two paragraphs, and it's based on the normal style. Now, what I've set up here is something that can help you quickly format your documents. We have the name of the style. It's based on the normal style, which means it just picks up that Times New Roman 12-point font. And you can tell Word to automatically apply a new style or any style after you press the enter key or the return key. So here I have it set up to continue with that same text formatted style. So when I press enter after entering the text, it'll stay in that until I apply another style. You can have it return to a normal style, and so after you press enter, it'll go back. Your cursor will jump back to the left margin and pick up that normal style, or you can have it apply a different heading. So if you wanted to continue in a series of lists, you could do that as well. For now, I'm going to leave that on LRA to continue that style when I press enter. And let me show you what that does. So if I come in here and add some new text and press enter, it will take me down to the next level. If I wanted to instead have this present the next number in our list here when I pressed enter, what I would do is modify that style to go to heading 2 when I'm done. So now if I add new text and press enter, it will take me back to this level, and I'm back outdented with the next number in that heading style. Again, the way to move or to think about this is, how do you best work within the confines of this document? Are you often just adding more text, or are you adding more of that next level of header? Whatever is most efficient for you, adjust accordingly. If I wanted to come up here and change this to a bullet or the little b, I would just come up and apply my heading style 2 and pull that out, and now these texts, it's available in between each of those. To continue down our list to the next level, this is heading style 3. Again, I followed the exact same process. Right click, modify, format, paragraph and numbering. Again, use the numbering first and then do your paragraph formatting to make it appear how you want. Underneath that style, then I have LR1 to correspond to my numeral 1 to show that this is another level of text. Again, this can just speed up your formatting and help you get more done in less time, doing a little bit of thought before you get started to writing your document. I hope that's helpful.